Good morning, good evening, wherever you may be. This is Mr. Multiverse, and today we're going to be doing some Patreon requests, starting off with one from my good friend, Chris, aka the Mount Vernon Kid. Chris, thank you so much for the Patreon request and continued patronage. And as always, if you guys would like to have a Patreon request done, just hit the link below, head on over to my Patreon, where you guys can hit the third tier, and you guys can start sending me requests for videos to do on YouTube, as well as check out all the exclusive stuff over on Patreon. I would greatly appreciate it. Anyway, so this Patreon request is going to be fascinating because it isn't really so much a crossover per se. It's more like a what-if scenario. That's really what we're doing here, is more of a what-if scenario, if anything else. And that what-if scenario is basically, what if Dexter from Dexter's Lab created the Metal Men? Now, if you don't know who the Metal Men are, that's fine. I don't blame you. I'm just an idiot who loves all these obscure characters that DC hardly ever uses. So, the Metal Men, for those who don't know, was created by a guy named Dr. Magnus. And he created these five robots, these five androids, who could basically create and form whatever they wanted. Like, they can mold themselves into anything, harden themselves, all of that. They basically could do anything. That was really it. But unlike Dr. Giro, who wanted to have the androids kill everyone, Dr. Magnus wanted to make them as heroes. So, what would it be like if Dexter created the Metal Men? That's the question Chris is posing to all of us right now. Me specifically. So, what would it be like? Well, for starters, Dr. Magnus was basically a dude who saw the good in humanity and wanted to protect it, and also he also saw the advancements of science through human engineering. Dexter was like that too, but he also had a giant fucking ego bigger than his whole body. So, this could easily be an episode of... That's the other thing, is that this could easily be an episode of the show, because it's under Warner Brothers, and they could do this as an episode. If they ever brought back Dexter's Lab, they could easily have him encounter the Metal Men. So, if Dexter created the Metal Men, it would not be out of, like, I want to do this out of pure scientific logic. It would have a little of that, but it'd be more like, I need help around the lab, I'm gonna go do that. So, his version of the Metal Men would probably be vastly different. You see, the Metal Men have their own, are kind of like a family. They're very much like a family, and they have their own personalities. And while I do think Dexter would probably give them all personalities, I think he would probably take their, shall we say, their negative traits and probably exacerbate them, because Dexter doesn't care about the why, he cares about, like, the doing of. So he's going to ignore a lot of, like, his computer's advice of, like, maybe you shouldn't build it like that, and he'd be like, who created who here? Sure wasn't me. Like, it sure wasn't you. I don't think you built these things of pure, science and ingenuity. And he wouldn't have them going around protecting the world. He'd probably build the Metal Men out of, to keep Dee Dee out of the lab. That's really what it would be, is that he would need, some new force to guard, the lab, and they would just be like, nah, we're gonna go, they would just be like, no, but we're bored, Father. We want to go do something. We want to go, we want to, see the world. And he's like, nonsense. I need you to pick up that sandwich for me and feed it to me while I do this work. While I do this important work of screwing this one bolt for like 30 minutes straight. That's really how it would go. Let's be honest with ourselves. That's really how this would all play out. Is that Dexter would be so selfish, and don't get me wrong, I love the show, but, like, we can all agree Dexter could be selfish sometimes, so I could totally see him being like, I have created robots that will protect my lab and do as I say. So, I do see it, if it was an actual episode, how I kind of see it playing out would be that, Dexter would probably annoy them to the point where the Metal Men would just break out and go off and do their own things and be superheroes in their own right. And, like, that's how I see it as an episode, really. Like, that's how I see it playing out. Dexter, Dexter cares about feeding his own ego more than he does other people. Now, does he care about his family? Yes, in some capacity. And does he care about protecting the world? Yeah, but as long as people see it. Anyway, that's how I'm playing it out. So, there you go. But you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you think it would be like if Dexter created the Metal Men? You guys just comment below, let me know. And once again, I'd like to thank my good friend Chris. Thank you once again for the Patreon request and continued patronage. Hope you all enjoyed this, and like I said, if you'd like to have a Patreon request done, just hit the link below, head on over to my Patreon, hit the 3rd tier, and you guys can get started from there. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.